What is America? Baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie. And of course, punk rockers.
Hi, LA Rockstar with our first issue. We'll be talking to some of the foremost authorities on religion, politics, violence, war, well, just about everything that affects our American society today. Bad Religion, with their first album, How Could Hell Be Any Worse, out on Epitaph Records.
People say we're devil worshippers, and like, the thing is we can't be devil worshippers if we don't believe in religion.
We're not against people having religion, we're against bad religion. Those are the people who are using it to get power, using it to get money, or using it to brainwash their children.
The long majority is such an extreme. It's like they want to get rid of this and they want to get rid of that.
They want to get church and state,
back together as one.
He's got political reasons also.
Yeah, exactly.
He's trying to abolish abortion. He's trying to ban books from schools. He's trying to censor TV and radio. These things are not something that the church should get involved in. And we're just saying, get out of the fucking government and go back to your church. People send money, first of all, to relieve their own guilt.
Right.
They think they've done some bad things, and they give some money. They said, okay, well, I'm doing something good now. This money will, help people, and it relieves some of their guilt.
I don't hold it against people who believe in God.
Yeah, I'm not like, I don't say, well, you're a dick because you believe in God. I laugh. I just go, well, show me some hardcore evidence. Well, I found a piece of wood up in the mountains, and it's Noah's Ark. Johnny's boat.
The life of a monk is such a fucking simple life. They don't have to deal with anything. People who live their lives in a normal life in society have to deal with so many problems. But a monk who divides his life through religion, that religion supplies all the answers.
I never met a monk, and I don't know what the hell their philosophy is.
So monks are usually ugly, and they can't get any girls, so they just want to blow the rest of their lives. So they sport the brown trench coat and the cool haircut, and they just go up in the mountains and bow all the time.
They're basically frustrated as people. All we are is a mirror. Like, we see society and we fucking try to reflect it back in their face, and then when they see how ugly it is, they can do something about it. See, people put you down for being pessimistic, but you're not being pessimistic when you're telling people the way it is. If you're on a ship that's sinking and you say, hey, we're sinking, this ship is sinking, if that ship is really sinking, you're not being a pessimist. Early man walked away as one of man took control. The minds were all the same. The conqueror was the leader's goal. So he felt his glamour. Then he slaughtered his own kind. Then he died like a confused man. The arms race.
As far as I'm concerned, I think it's just like, it's gonna happen overnight, because I've had that feeling for a long time. It's not gonna build up. It's not gonna be like we're gonna go, well, fuck you, and they're gonna go, fuck you back, and then like we're gonna send like 5 guys over there and they go, ha ha, and then they're gonna send 10 guys, and it's not gonna be slow. It's just gonna be one big fucking massive overnight thing.
And if you look at the history of man since the beginning of civilization, mankind has always been doing things to fuck other men up. Consistently on every one. If you look at every newspaper ever printed, murders, wars, just negative things. Man's been fucking himself over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
How did I get stuck with having to review Black Flag's new album, Damage, on SSD Unicorn Records? I don't even like punk rock. It doesn't say anything. Without even listening to it, I just know it can't measure up to any true rock and roll bands like REO and Journey.
How do you get tagged with like being the most violent group?
By people like you, press people in general.
It's not anti or pro-parent, you know. It's not like we sing songs about for the women's movement or for parents in society. That's another. That's really ridiculous too.
I mean, if that's all you had on your mind, would you start a band and play songs?
Yeah, we want to be the anti-parent band.
Yeah, the anti or pro anything. I mean, that sounds more like the beginning of a political career.
Well, that's the whole thing. People believe what they want to believe.
Anybody in the world is potentially violent.
I don't really know any violent bands that, you know, get up there and beat people up while they're playing.
Self-destruct! Self-destruct! I can understand your problems, and I can even figure out the reasons why, but I can't help the way I feel, and I can't accept what I see, and I just can't stand watching you! Self-destruct! Self-destruct!
Bands like Styx, REO, and Kansas and Journey are, I mean, the lamest, most unsatisfying background music for people to wash dishes to.
It's pasteurized music.
It's pasture music. It's for people who are sent out to pasture. That's what it's for.
And, you know, the excuse that they use a lot of times, the newest catchphrase is fun. You know, everything is fun. Punk is fun, you know, rock and roll should be fun, this and that. You know, we're four fun-loving guys, you know. A lot of the stuff I really like a lot isn't fun, you know, and I find that really offensive, you know.
I think it's like a fear a lot of people have. It's like part of American culture is to be afraid to take something seriously, something you do seriously, to do what you want and to be proud of what you're doing and stand behind what you are. I take what I do seriously. I have fun doing it, but I take it very seriously.
I ain't got no place to call my own. I just sit here, all alone. There's no girls that wanna touch me. I don't need your fucking sympathy. Depression's got a hold of me. Depression, God break free. Depression's got a hold of me. Depression's gonna kill me.
No, I don't think we complain about society because the songs aren't really directed out at society or something. They're more personal expressions than they're not complaints. They're feelings. You know, it's not.
It's how I or Greg or Henry, whoever writes the song, thinks, does, or feels.
It's not like, oh, you know, we're down on all the bureaucracy and the Reagan administration. You know, I mean, that's so safe. You know, let's attack bureaucracy in society, or let's think of some more. Maybe City Hall is really screwed, or you know, Reagan is fucked. You know, that's an easy target. You don't have to hit anybody's emotions. Everybody can go, yeah, and
they'll probably go right out and vote for the next Reagan. Behind all of that stuff, there's an emotional undercurrent that makes people work in those ways. That puts a guy like Reagan in power, that makes people tend to play into a bureaucratic system that makes all this stuff happen. I mean, why is it there? It's there because people wanted it to be there. I mean, I don't like it, okay? But I feel like, you know, to like just say society sucks or, you know, bureaucracy can suck. I mean, it doesn't have that much direct contact with me, and as an entity, it's so far removed from people and what they think and feel, that it has no impact at all to talk about that. And you bring it home. I mean, you're part of it when you vote for him, or when you like go down and pick up your unemployment check, and all this garbage. When you pay your taxes, the whole thing, you're part of that game. When you call the police up to have them come down and help you out, you're part of it.
Yeah.
You're part of the game, and it's like, if you're going to complain about it, you better start, bring it on home to yourself.
I'm gonna go out, get something for my head. If I keep on doing this, I'm gonna end up dead. So give me. Give me some more. Give me. Don't ask for more. I know the world's got problems. I got problems of my own. Not the kind that get me some.
You feel people listen to your free songs?
Yeah, we get letters all the time from people going like, yeah, I feel, that one song, I really feel like that, you guys speak for me.
TV party tonight! TV party tonight! TV party tonight! TV party tonight! We're gonna have a TV party tonight! Alright! We're gonna have a TV party, alright! Tonight! We got nothing better to do.
See, we don't make any requirements of our audience. We don't say, okay, only this person can listen to us. You can't listen to us. Your hair is too long. Your hair is too short. You can't listen to us. We're not into that. We feel like everybody should be exposed to it. We don't do that by changing our sound and playing stuff we don't want to play. We don't do that. That's what REO and Styx do. We just play the way we want to play.
And we don't avoid it by changing what we play either. I mean, TV Party is a song that we wanted to play.
Yeah, it is.
And it's like if some guy's going to yell, pop commercial novelty song at us, well, that guy can take his phrases and stick them right up his butt sideways.
Because we're just play what we're into.
Would you tone down?
Can you tone down what's in your heart? Can you tone down what you feel? I can't.
Cowards, rise above! Rise above, we're gonna rise above! They distort what we say! Rise above, we're gonna rise above! Try to stop what we do! Rise above, we're gonna rise above! When they can't do it themselves! Rise above, we're gonna rise above! We are tired of your abuse! Try to stop us! It's no use!
RF7 means a lot of things to a lot of different people. To some, 7 Russian figs, rarely from 7, 7 rubber fumes, or 7 radical Frenchmen. Yet to others it means a new Southern California punk group with their first album out on Smoke 7 Records, Weight of the World.
Religion is a thing that you believe in at a moment. Sometimes you can hate God because you feel powerful in yourself because of the drugs you take. But then another time you can be afraid of God because, gee, I almost hit that Mustang on Canaan Road. Thank you, Lord, for saving me. People at my work just think,
they want you to die, Nick.
They do. They hate me.
Because I know people who work where he does.
And they hate me. They all hate me. And sometimes they ruin my work because I work for, like, inspection. And they ruin my work and lie to get me fired. But it's okay, though. If they didn't do that, I wouldn't work there. Except for the hippies. I like the hippies. Because hippies, they'll always be your friend and buy you lunch. And always buy you burritos and always buy you beer. And they just want to be your friend because you're different and, gee, everything's so nice. The hippies believe in everything.
Don't you write
They're nice people.
About
If there weren't hippies, we'd have nothing to complain about. But we're more friends with people in Nebraska than people at Godzilla's. So that's the whole thing. You can be friends with the people at Godzilla's, and they're the people in L.A. who go, yay, wham, bam, here we are. Or you can be friends with people in Nebraska who don't know anything anyways, and that's where they're going to like you more.
You can take my advice. Only time will tell. You can live your own life, or you can burn it down.
can take the sex, like
Yeah,
Channel 2 had a thing.
Yeah, 2 on
Where,
the down.
what they have, they took this one scene of a guy, swinging his arm around, accidentally hitting somebody, and they played it back and forth about 5 times. They put a red filter on it. They took the sound and they garbled it all up so you couldn't hear what was going on. And then the other thing that they focused on was this girl getting her top ripped off, It was no big deal.
The
So
media
they want the sex
promotes
and violence.
everything. They want to promote everything so they can make money off showing it to large audiences, right? They want to make it seem worse than it is so that you'll want to be interested the next time you see it. So you'll give their Harper ratings or whatever it's called a better rating because you wanted to see that violent show on punk rock.
2 people causing some violence is what gives the whole thing a bad name.
Think of what you did when you were 18-year-old or something. Like I used to drive cars, 100 plus miles an hour, go through curves, not even pay attention to the, middle line on the road. And, to compare that to some 18-year-old kid slamming or jumping off some speakers, he can't possibly get hurt as bad.
How can you believe in a war when the new war could only last 8 minutes long? How could you believe in that? I'm sure they're going to go. They're going to go. Well, we'll only use this little bit of weapons that we have here, and only this little bit instead of the major weapons. Just go wham wham. Country's gone by. Leave me alone. I'm sure that's going to be the whole thing. War. How can you believe in that? If you believe in that, then you're going, well, let's beat chess and take away the bishop and the queen.
No way, man. They started out with fists, then they picked up sticks, then they took knives, and then they got guns, and now, they got bombs. They're going to use them. At no time has man stopped using any of those weapons he's created. I think the sooner kids learn, the better. Because I think when you're younger, you're much better to assimilate things and tolerate things and make your own decisions. And I think kids who are sheltered all their life till they're older are just getting screwed over by their parents. I wouldn't be like some of these parents are, oh, don't let Johnny hear the word fuck.
Punk people right now are only upset because there's no war. If they had war and something to complain about to make them peaceful, but there's no war right now for them to go to, so naturally they have to get as mad as they get. But if they were subjected to being drafted and going to war, they wouldn't really want so much hate.
Protect your fears. I feel the steel like the spike in my arm. It's not all it appears.
Oh, God. Let's see, who am I interviewing today? Saccharine Trust. They got an album out on SST Records. Pagan Icons. Come on. How do you spell saccharine anyway?
That's S-A-C-C-H-A-R-I-N-E. Trust me.
I'd like to see a day where everybody, or almost everybody, that spells our name someday might spell it right. You would not believe how many incorrect spellings.
We could make a book out of it.
Yeah, and they're all, they all seem to be crazy with their
150,000 ways to spell saccharine.
Yeah.
Everyone gets the trust right, but saccharine,
We've even had someone who spelled saccharine right, but they put down saccharine crust.
Crust, yeah, that's right.
I was wondering if that was a new hostess problem.
Tired of being called a production slave. Damn it so, working these hours. They shut us out there in
as sad as you make it as you're reading it. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying things are sad or they're happy.
Yeah.
It's just what just what I see, and I'm just taking it down. Some of the songs could even be happy. It's as happy as you see things. Well, it's not. While I'm singing, I keep in mind somehow that people probably don't make out a single word. I try to be as clear as I can, but that's still in the back of my mind at the same time, and they don't know any of the songs, or to them it could be just just like when you would see a crazy person in an institution crying for the world, and his understanding of things and yours would be completely different. When maybe he's not really so insane.
I wanted things to be just like they used to be, except I keep all my promises. And then I felt so ashamed. I was so ashamed. Until I realized we're all guilty of that dream. And forever I wish you a beautiful sleep.
I'm not sacrilegious, but the thing is that it should not be a political thing. I mean, I can see when someone else is in a certain religion and they want to share it with somebody else. I think that's beautiful. But it gets to a point. Well, if you don't believe in this, you can't have this. So I'm gonna kill you. Who cares? Thou shalt not kill. Well, thou shalt kill if thou does not believe in me. A long, long time ago, they crucified Jesus Christ. So now my idea is that instead of crucifying the good guy, why didn't we try to kill the bad guys? And the snake was a symbol for evil. When good finally wins over, we're gonna crucify evil, and it's not gonna have an Easter.
Drunk on the blood, stuck to the road, and vomits nostalgia. Casualties, watch him see with careful curiosity. Raw dialogue, effort to waste, he gives his sermon. Words are pointless to sober conscience and breathe the same air.
Any kid that wants to stand up and say, I am old enough to think for myself, I can make my own judgments. If they can say that, I think they should be able to do that. And maybe they're not really proving it by ending up with fatherless childs or whatever, or burning themselves out.
We don't need freedom. We don't want freedom. We don't need freedom. Freedom is what ruins your brain. Creativity thrives in pain. Freedom is what lets you run wild. Explain freedom to your fatherless child. We don't need freedom. Do we now?
I guess it's not all the police fault. The kids do fuck up a little. They smash up the bathroom or whatever, but.
Yeah, but the police, I think, like
but
that.
The police,
we're kind of happy that goes on.
Yeah, because then that now we don't have to deal with it. Let them go destroy the club and it'll close, so we can go to Winchell's and have our coffee. Just a bunch of kids want to have a good time, and they may look a little different, but so what? Everyone's expecting them to take over the world.
Many Americans are apathetic when it comes to politics. But the Red Rockers, with their album Condition Red on 415 Records, show definite hopes for a better political system in the future.
We've always had a policy of not trying to preach to people, just kind of get them to think for themselves and make their own decisions.
If we have a political view or a certain stance on anything, we may say it in a song if pertaining to it, but we don't want to base ourselves as just a political band of all about politics. Because we're not. We deal with a lot of personal politics.
Kind of like maybe a catalyst. In other words, trying to get kids to do something about it, or just
being aware.
Yeah, just to wake up and be aware. We're really anti-apathy.
Shot a kick us in the head. You die rocker, you die red. I gotta make a contribution. We're gonna rock with revolution. I don't care what you say, 'cause you know what I think. You bastard, yeah.
Most kids are really proud of America and would rather live in America than anywhere else. But there are a lot of things wrong with America.
I don't wanna live on rules. I don't need society. Oh, I don't care what's right or wrong. I got everything I need. Don't need to know what cool is. It's in my blood. Don't want to live life fast and know who we are. Who we are.
Nobody wants to go to war, but I suppose if it got right down to it, where it was like fight or die, I think a lot of people would fight. But see, the thing is with wars is they're usually caused, with money. It's for money.
Yeah.
To get the country out of that.
That's pretty much what Reagan's plan is. He's going to cut off grants so kids can't go to school and they can't get a job because the unemployment's too high. So they end up joining the army. And then when the army's big enough, Reagan picks a little country to pick on, starts a conventional war, everybody gets killed off, and inflation moves back down, unemployment goes down. We just don't want to be the guinea pigs in every little experiment.
That's the price you pay for the USA. There's a better way for the USA. We're gonna fight for the war. We're gonna die. Tell me why I get to kill. That's the American way. Fight. I don't know why I got to die. Tell me why I get to kill. That's the American way.
It's really bad down in Louisiana. Seems like every 6 months or so they let all these hardcore criminals go because they don't have room to hold them. And they're like really the pits.
I can't hold on much longer. Not very, very much longer. Yankee dollar never gives us a break. It's now or never. You know you can't live forever. When things are, I can't believe it's true. I don't know if I can hold on. I know there's something wrong.
I'd like to see a different structured government to where there was a representative from young people, under 18, and a representative represented like the farmers, and from all different walks of life, so that everybody would have a real equal say.
You'd like to get into politics? Yeah.
One of these days, yeah. I don't feel I'm educated enough yet.
Revolution on the Constitution, a left-wing terror has taken over. Scared little rich man, you better start running. Here comes the revolution. You thought you had it, but your power.
Some people look at life as a parade.
Others take a more serious approach. Youth Brigade, with their cuts on the forthcoming BYO compilation album, have yet a different attitude.
Everybody puts down the kids here because they're not poor or something, but that's bullshit. I mean, fact is, they've just gotten to the point where, you know, their parents have gotten to a point where they're supposedly, you know, reached the American ideal, and the kids realize after seeing their parents, shit, if that's the American ideal, I don't want to end up like that.
Most of us feel that all kids have basically the same views, and it's just a matter of which ones are going to express them, or the other ones that are going to hide them and just go along with society and do a bunch of bullshit the rest of their lives and pretend like they're happy under the white picket fence when they're really hating every minute of it, and they wait for the day when they can retire and get all their money and live off that, and they're not going to be happy then. They're going to die. So what fun do they have during life? None.
And you're a kid, you're a punk, when you were trash in the club, you want to know why. Put it this way, you go to a club, you want to have a good time, you want to get in for relatively cheap, and you got to charge you your arm and leg. You pay $10 to get in, so you're angry right there. You got to go through a bunch of goons, they've hired a bunch of goons, big old rockheads like USC football players that guard you.
They
or
think
keep the club
you're
clean.
fucking
You're not doing
weirdo.
anything wrong, they like to fuck with you because you're a weirdo. That's another thing, that's two strikes against the club. You got some asshole in there, they won't let you come back in or out. It's totally hot in there, it's crowded.
Can't get a beer.
The music sounds fucked because they got the wrong kind of sound or something, it doesn't come out good, you know. And there's a lot of fights breaking out, people getting drunk. I mean, okay, that's 3 strikes right there, so what's there left to do? They take their aggression out on the club, which is, you know, normal. They're going to fuck up the people who fuck with them. If they can't get to the people, they're going to get to the club by means of tearing down the building. They want to hear the bad points of punk rock. They don't want to hear the good points of the scene. So what are they going to write about? You tell me. What are their readers going to buy? They're going to read about. They want to hear that it's good and stuff. They ain't going to buy that paper no more. They want to hear it's bad. They want to hear that they're going to get rid of it. Like a disease or something. They're going to get vaccinated before it's gone.
Religion right now is responsible for a lot of the problems in the world. I mean, Christ, you got a president and a moral majority trying to control this country. They're trying to take us back 50, 60 years. I mean, religion's ridiculous. The fact of the matter is in the 20th century, we live by science, not religion anymore. But for the last 1,500, 2,000 years, we've lived by religion, and it's like we have to catch up and change our values to scientific values, but we haven't done that. We live in a scientific age. Everything around us is governed by science, except for our values and our morals.
Would you like to become a politician?
Fuck no! I told you before. Politics per se is a waste of time because you can't change anything. I mean, they make the rules and they decide what goes. So it's not fair. So it's a waste of time. You don't have to live in the stupid dream of the fucking hippies in the 60s. They were all love and peace. They were love and peace, and their major fight was they didn't want to go to war. You know, we don't have any war to fight about. We're just pissed off. Period. You know, and we're violent. No one fucks with us. We don't necessarily go out and do violence and stuff. You know, I mean, we're not gonna sit down.
No, violence is right if it's controlled. That's what we're saying. Controlled violence.
Yeah, we're not for anarchy.
Demonstrating, but with a little bit more force.
No, it just hasn't come down to that yet, but we're just saying that, like the hippies, you know, when it came down to it, they couldn't handle it. They're just saying, when it comes down to it for us, we'll be able to handle it, you know. If it comes down to having to do terror attacks and shit, we'll do it.